patients were around 350 to 400 per day. But in terms of statistics, there were two issues. Our case positivity ratio was very high, as high 50% almost, 50. And second was about case fatality ratio, CFR. The death rate was almost up to 3.3%, which again was a very big challenge. If we compare the figure of CFR with many other cities, then still by any standard it was very high. And then we didn't have a lab of our own, and we totally were depending on private labs. So we started our own RT-PCR lab. And right now, I'm very happy to say, right from 4th of August to today is 7th of April, that lab is working non-stop without a single day's break. Be it any holiday, be it Diwali or anything. Our people are working round the clock in shifts 24/7. So that lab has been very helpful. Today we are in a position to test almost 2500 to 3000 samples per day, 24 hours in that lab. So with a right mix of RT-PCR as well as antigen, we were able to ramp up our testing infrastructure, and that helped us in identification, early identification, and then comes isolation, and then comes treatment. Under Mission Break the Chain, of course, the standard formula of COVID management, test, isolate, treat, was a formula which was successfully implemented in say Dharavi and Malegaon. Then was again done in Navi Mumbai as well. But then while implementing that, there were few modifications done which were very peculiar to Navi Mumbai, considering the situation on ground. And with respect to Mission Zero, there was a proper strategy to bring the death rate down and how to go about it. With respect to positivity ratio, we started ramping up our testing infrastructure. Now in terms of COVID management, there are three categories of beds which are required. First is normal bed, which is there in COVID care center. Second is oxygen bed. And the third category, of course, is ICU and ventilator. In terms of normal bed, we were okay. We didn't have any problem then. Of course, we kept on adding to normal bed, but then that was not that big an issue. Our challenge was ICU bed as well as oxygen bed. Because when I joined, there were only 82 ICU oxygen beds. Work was going on for another 400. So from 82, we increased corporation oxygen bed capacity up to 2200. And within a span of 3 months, 2 to 3 months, our oxygen bed availability increased up to 2300, and private up to 7 to 800 were there. So overall availability in Navi Mumbai of oxygen bed increased crossed more than 3000. ICU infrastructure again was a very important issue. When I joined, there were around 204 ICU beds. I kept on adding and it went up to more than 500. When we were at peak, we had almost 550 ICU beds in the city, of which around 230 were with corporation, the remaining were with private. I always say, in terms of infrastructure, there are two aspects of infrastructure. One is availability, the other is access. Availability means how many beds are there in your city, and access means are people in a position to access that bed in terms of their capacity, financial capacity. Because if I have 1000 ICU beds, but out of 1900 are with private, then there could be many people who can't afford to go to private, and that's why availability might be there, but people still might not have access. And that's why it is very important that corporation has that facility where people have confidence that I can go and I can get the treatment free of cost. So we focus more on infrastructure of corporation. So oxygen beds and ICU beds of corporation were increased, and that really helped us more in second wave. Once the patient reaches COVID hospital, some complication happens. Are we in a position to give proper treatment and ensure recovery of the patient? And there we realize timing is very important. In terms of critical patient management, whatever medicine we are giving, if it is given at an opportune time, then only we will have highest chances of patient recovery. So we had this death audit which helped us in a big way. We had sessions with our task force and repeated discussions of the task force with the general physicians who are situated at various hospitals, and that those discussions kind of, then it was the beginning. All said, treatment protocol was getting refined day by day. Today we are in a much better position in terms of treatment protocol. APMC is a very peculiar thing which is in Navi Mumbai, and that has always been our biggest challenge. Demographically, the city has a particular characteristic, but then a thing like APMC, and because of APMC there are various societies of Mathadi workers, slum population. These are the areas which were quite challenging. As far as APMC is concerned, almost more than 1000 trucks come every day. Population which is coming to APMC every day is almost 30 to 40,000, and that population comes from various parts of the nation, not just Maharashtra. We took various steps with respect to APMC, the staggering of inward flow of trucks so that crowding can be avoided. Of course, enforcement of COVID appropriate behavior, and most importantly, testing. We started with the testing center in APMC in all 3 shifts. We all know that APMC works 24/7 basis. So there are few teams of testing which are deployed during the night. Then few teams could be working early morning, and then there could be few teams working during the day. See, when we think of Navi Mumbai, there are 3 categories of demography I need to take care. Firstly, slum and Gauthan. Then there is Circo nodal area, high rises, and then third is APMC. While analyzing, I need to track the way positivity is going in all 3 demographies separately. And that's why it was very important to have a significant sample base of testing in APMC. We used to do almost 2,000 to 3,000 testing in APMC. With respect to slum and Gauthan area, there was some problem to begin with, but then later on, when we were at peak, the actual problem used to be in nodal area. Slum area, Gauthan area, these are the places where enforcement of COVID appropriate behavior becomes very difficult, and that has always been a challenge. Fortunately, again, the rampant testing, at random testing, not just of symptomatic, and then door-to-door survey of ILI patients. This has really helped. What we observe in slum area, first of all, people respond to whatever messaging was given by corporation. That way, that was not a problem. But then, to begin with, during first wave, there was fear of testing. So we had to overcome that fear. For that, massive IEC activity was taken, help of local representative, public representatives were taken. And during first and second wave, both, massive surveys of door-to-door surveys for finding patients with ILI symptom was very important. New trend has been observed during second wave. People want to, bypass this corporation system where they have a fear that if I turn positive, they might isolate myself in institution. They just go for HRCT. So we had to contact all the HRCTs centers. We started taking reports from them, and whoever was showing COVID-like symptom, they were contacted again. So slum and Gauthan area, this door-to-door campaign has really helped. See, challenge with any COVID management is consistency. If a person is found to be negative, it means the person is negative at a moment where sample was taken. The person might contract infection the next hour. So whatever we are doing, we need to be very consistent about it. This testing, isolating, treating, this is a regular activity. So even door-to-door survey which was carried out, that was a regular affair. The same house will be visited by our team every fortnight or every 3 weeks. That was the frequency with which we were doing the survey. And these activities has really helped us. This fear of testing and isolation, especially in slum area, because mostly slum and Gauthan area, these are the congested localities, so we can't allow home isolation there. So they must come to a institution. Now again, because of financial condition, they may not afford to go to private institution. So they'll have to come to corporation. There, a confidence that corporation facility is good goes a long way. I must mention here that Circo Exhibition Center was the primary center, jumbo center, where we used to isolate people to begin with. We have followed highest standards of cleanliness, highest standards of housekeeping and food quality. And that is why we didn't need to canvass that our centers are good. This word of mouth publicity was so good, and that really helped in overcoming this kind of mental barrier in terms of testing. People in a way were not scared that I'll have to go to institution. Many people used to say कि ठीक है टेस्ट कर लेते हैं, if we are positive we'll go to Circo exhibition, stay there for 10 days and come back. That was the confidence which was developed because of the quality of center we tried to maintain. Of course there were challenges. We used to get complaints about cleanliness, we used to get complaints about food quality, but the point is response time was less than 12 hours. And I used to personally speak to every person who is giving negative feedback, so that the message goes right across the whole staff that cognizance is being taken from the highest level. During second wave, number of critical patients increased, and moreover many people were succumbing to the disease even within that lesser age pockets, say from 20s and 30s, and this was a very distinct observation as compared to first wave. We clearly can say that the maximum population which was affected during first wave was 50 plus, but during second wave there were few unfortunate incidences, deaths reported even within 20s and 30s population. But all said, if we analyze number of deaths which are reported, we see that more than 80, or even if I say 85, that will not be exaggeration, more than 80 or 85% cases of deaths which are reported are within an age group of 50 plus. One more interesting observation, at any point of time during second wave, when I looked at the data, the number of positive or number of active cases within the age group of 50 plus was never higher than 30%. So we knew that this 30% population, which is as far as number is concerned, is very much manageable. These are the people who are at the highest risk. The deaths which are going to happen, 80% people are going to be among this particular bracket. And that's why we devised a strategy in which we decided that 50 plus population must be under observation. When Navi Mumbai was at a peak, I was having more than 1300 oxygen beds vacant. So I was very confident that howsoever big number there is, I would be able to cater to demand of oxygen. The problem was when patient directly comes from home with a demand of ICU or ventilator bed. We started observing a trend where people were calling that our saturation is 60 and 70. Now when a person comes with 60 or 70 saturation, you can take it and settle the patient on oxygen bed. You need directly to take the patient to ICU, and sometimes patient directly was put on ventilator, non-invasive ventilator or mechanical ventilator. So this was the observation, and in order to avoid that, it was very important that this 50 plus population was to be isolated institutionally. So we started taking rigorous follow-up on day-to-day basis of every patient who is reported 50 plus, and we started asking our UHP medical officer, are we isolating them institutionally? So first of all, every 50 plus person should be isolated institutionally. Second, if somebody refuses, despite our follow-up, if somebody refuses, we must ensure that we speak to the physician under whose advice the person is isolated, so that the physician is aware what is the protocol to be followed. And then third, rigorous follow-up for next 10 days with the concerned person, so that the moment we realize saturation is dropping, this person can be isolated at home. There have been incidences in which we knew that saturation is dropping. Despite repeated follow-up, the patient was not ready. In few cases, we had to contact concerned corporator. The corporator went to home and got the patient. In few cases, we had to send police and our ward officer people, and we got them into institution. So this really has helped us. I clearly can mention that the difference I am observing over the period of last 3 weeks, there used to be a time when during our evening VC, I used to analyze this number. We were at peak around 1350 people who were 50 plus, who were isolated at home. That number has come down to 350 now. And the distress call which we used to receive, the number was again about 20 to 25, that has come to less than 5. And most importantly, now I don't get any distress call which is reporting a saturation of 60-70. No call I receive is with a saturation of less than 90. Now that has really helped us in managing this 50 plus population. See, everywhere we go, corporation is considered to be unprofessional. Corporation is considered to be inaccessible, inefficient. And I don't blame people for that. That is how the working style has been. Because overall bureaucracy works in a typical way, which is called red tapeism, more so in corporation. However, I must mention here that corporation, especially Navi Mumbai, what we have been doing from last July onwards, we have shown so much professionalism, and that has been taken so well by people that even apart from COVID or even after COVID, after first wave, I used to realize during Swachha Sarvekshan, when we would be approaching people with respect to say Swachhata, people used to reciprocate so positively because they had this impression that this organization is getting very professional. So this general change of perception among people's mind, which we could ensure because of COVID, has really been a game changer, and we are trying to build upon that. Now COVID is just one particular thing through which it has started, but we are trying to carry it forward.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.